Yeah.
Which brings me to the next bit, which you will all love. This is this the right story? Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Brian Bartles, 20-year-old accused of inciting violence and riots in Pittsburgh in police custody. I think it's not just that. I think he actually tried burning a building down.
Oh, wow.
He's in big trouble.
So, but here's the best part. You got to read. You got to hear this. 20-year-old Brian Bartles, the man accused of inciting violence and riots in Pittsburgh on Saturdays in police custody. Bartles turned himself in. Oh, really? At police headquarters Monday. He arrived with an adult male and adult female. Who could that have been?
Yeah.
We have a video. Let's play the video.
That's a walk of shame right there.
That's a perp walk.
Oof.
Mr. Bartles, do you have anything to say about what happened on Saturday?
Man, looks could kill.
Anything you want to say?
Destroy that police car.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have anything to say?
All right, now, I gotta say, man. First of all, that dude really does look like his dad. Like,
Yeah.
it looks like him, you know what I mean?
Oh, they totally do. They have
Yeah.
the same eyes.
Okay, yeah, that's his dad. You know what I want to say to those parents? You're bad parents.
Yeah.
Well, they
That's
brought
bad.
him in at least.
Well, yeah. It's
That's
a
good.
combination. Yeah.
But how do you let your kid become that messed up? 20 years old,
Not paying attention.
destroying a police car, apparently. Look at this. Look at this. Bartles is facing charges of institutional vandalism, rioting, and reckless endangerment, according to the police. He's responsible for breaking the windows out of a Pittsburgh police car against the wishes of peaceful protesters. What a scumbag.
Yeah.
Man. After he was arrested, police say they received a call from Bartles' attorney earlier in the day saying Bartle would turn himself in Monday afternoon. Bartles had no comment as he walked into police headquarters.
Indeed.
His attorney also told KDKA's Nicole Ford he has no comment. There was so much destruction downtown after Saturday's violent demonstration, and police believe Bartles from the Allison Park area helped incite the violence. Pittsburgh provided a photo of him wearing all black with a black bandana around his face.
I don't know. It looks like his hair is kind of frosted there, and I don't see it in the other picture.
This?
Yeah, it looks like
It's
a
not
different
frosted.
person.
No,
Yeah.
it looks like him.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a little.
Similar. I think. He's the one who
There
turned
was
himself
something
in.
happened where they knew it was him,
Oh, okay.
and then started showing photos of him, you know.
All right.
Well, it's true what they say. They say, check this out. Shaler police in Pittsburgh served a search warrant at a home in Shaler Sunday. So they're coming for you, man.
Ooh.
Bartles was not there, but investigators say they found evidence that links him to the protest. Guns,
Whoa.
spray paint and gloves also found during the search warrant. Search warrant execution was the sweatshirt matching the one seen in the video of the protest on Saturday.
Oh.
They got you.
Yep.
You see the Nashville perp walk?
No.
The cops actually found the guy at his house,
Okay.
brought him out. He's 24, and they stood him up and took a nice little picture and tweeted it out.
Wow.
They want everyone to know what you look like. Man, could you imagine? You know why I'm saying these parents are bad parents? This kid's life is over.
Yep.
He's probably going to, we'll see what the government does to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him some kind of deal. But it's very likely. I mean, these are felony charges, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
Like burning a police car? That's got to be a felony.
Yeah, that seems felonious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I kind of hope it is.
Right.
No, it's a misdemeanor. You get a slap and the rest of a fine for torching a police car.
Oh yeah.
No, I imagine this dude is done for, man. But so many of these people don't realize they're on camera.
Yep.
There's
Cameras are everywhere.
There's a video.
everywhere.
What these people don't understand, and criminals don't either, is the power of optics.
Yep.
You ever watch a police chase? The helicopter is like, how far away is this helicopter? It's like a mile, 2 miles away, and they zoom right in. They can read the license plate as they follow you and the guys in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a video of this woman, and she's walking down the street, and she's got like a hockey stick or something. And she's not wearing a mask. And she walks right up, and you can see her face clear as day, because I guess she didn't realize the camera was really, really far away. Then she pulls the mask up and starts trying to smash a window. It's like, well, you're going to jail, you're going to jail,
Going
dude.
down.
Yeah.
These people, man. Why sacrifice your life over all of this? You know?
Especially when most of them they're talking about it, and it's not even about George anymore. It's like, what are you doing? You're taking the point and changing it. You know, you're not honoring his death. That's for sure.
It's not
like,
about
Yeah.
it.
It's not about him at all
no.
anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the worst.
This is the weird thing about these people. It's like, you know what I think it is? the media ragged on incels.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's young men sitting at home and in their mother's basements.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think these people are? The dude's clearly out of shape, and he's got stupid weapons, and his parents brought him to the police department. The problem is the media never called out the same problem on the left of these people with no function, no purpose, no skills, and then they have to go to jail because they do really, really dumb things. But here's the thing about it. It's like I was saying about the blunt force terror versus the extreme. When it comes to like the incel stuff, there's a couple people, a small handful, several people out of the past decade or so. When you look at how an extreme acts and they get a ton of attention.
Okay.
When you look at the left, there's thousands of these people doing low-level terror, and they never get any press.
But now, when there's thousands of them doing them all at the same time, and they're being separated from the peaceful protesters that are trying to go out and protest, a death of, one of their kin. It's like, it's clear as day. There's a split line now, which is good. We needed that. And especially when, they tackled an Antifa person, and like that's what we need to see more.
But it's still blurry.
Okay.
I was talking to a friend about this, who was telling me that their friends and family want to go out and support Black Lives Matter, and I was like, it's a tough call.
Yeah.
You got your First Amendment right to do it, but you realize they're exploiting you, right? These activists want you to go out and form a crowd so they can exploit your anger and turn it into something else. Let me tell you, these people are professionals. When Trayvon Martin protests sparked up, right? One of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Some protesters organized a Black Lives Matter rally. Okay. And they're marching. And one of I tell you, it's actually really funny. Sad for the organizers. They got to a point where they started yelling, "Where should we go?" as they marched. And the organizers were like, "The courthouse. We want to bring it to the police." And they went, "Yeah." And then Occupy Wall Street Antifa people ran to the front of the protest and then started going like this, waving backwards with their hands, and then turned the other direction to bring them to Wall Street. And the organizers who actually organized the whole protest, who want to go to the courthouse, were going, no, whoa, stop. Too late.
Wow.
They don't get it, man. And so what happened was the Occupy people brought them to Wall Street and to the Bull, where they danced and just jumped around. And these people are really good at shutting down protests. It's so easy. Yep. You want to know a secret? If there's a big march happening in, say, like New York, but and let's say it's only semi-organized, where like they said, meet up here and then we're going to march. All you have to do is get like 2 or 3 friends. And if you're 10 feet in front of the crowd, any direction you turn, the entire crowd goes with you. That's why they have the organizers walking backwards, going like this with their hands. Yeah. Because then the organizers choose where they go. You can easily override, because they'll have 2 or 3 people. And I've seen it happen. Wow. I've seen journalists accidentally guide protests into ridiculous areas.
Just because they're trying to get a picture.
So the journalist is always in front, and they're taking pictures, and they turn around and start walking. And then I there's like one moment during Occupy where like a guy pulls out his phone and he's walking forward and then starts turning left, and then all the protesters start turning left with him. And then the organizers started freaking out, like, you're getting off of Broadway, what are you doing? And too late. They followed the journalist, and the whole march just turns and no one has any idea what's going on. Wow. Because no one's paying attention, That's kind of what it is with these kids that are going out and rioting. And now, man, I don't think anybody really, what I mean by anybody is I don't think the people in big cities are paying attention at all to why it's happening and what's going on and who's doing it.
No, there's probably those, you say organizers, they're the ones who are aware, and those people exist, and they probably have groups of people around them that are with it. But then for the most part, the message gets lost in the violence and the wildness of what it is.
Maybe that's intentional.
I think it is. There's people out there that are definitely trying to take the message away.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
A part of me thinks it's possible that Antifa has actually long since been infiltrated by overt white supremacists. Because you think about their tactics, Antifa is the most effective black propaganda. If Antifa was actual white supremacists, it is the most effective white supremacist campaign ever undertaken. Think about it. All of these riots where they're all blaming Black Lives Matter for it. Yep. And now people are trying to say Antifa. They're trying to point to the white people and trying to post videos about it. Yeah. Think about There's a video of a black man pointing out 2 young white people who are talking about burning down buildings, and he's like, no, not in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Who are these people who are these white people who come to black neighborhoods to burn and destroy their property and their wealth? Doesn't sound like an anti-racist, does it? It sounds like something out of the Klan. It sounds like what the Democrats used to do 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I could see that.
It's funny, I remember, because they were trying to claim that Trump made a George Wallace quote
Okay.
when he said the looting starts.
Oh,
the
yeah,
shooting
yeah,
starts.
that one.
It's actually not. It's like a Chief Headley or whatever from Miami.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, wasn't Wallace a Democrat?
He was.
These
yes.
people don't get it. They really don't get it.
Didn't learn history.
But they've learned a valuable lesson. If you say you're Antifa, that means you can't be a fascist.
Oh, yeah.
It means anybody who opposes you must be.
Right.
And they've determined that because they're Democrats, they can't be racist because they say they're not. So I'll ask you, man, when have we seen the alt-right and far-right, whatever, go into black neighborhoods and successfully destroy all of their property?
No.
No, but have we seen Antifa do it?
Yep.
Yeah, we have.
Interesting.
Yes, we have. So I got to wonder, man, you know? And of course, you do see looters downtown.
Yeah.
And one of the things that bugs me out is a lot of people are posting videos of black people looting buildings and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, man. There's videos of white people looting too.
Yep.
Different neighborhoods. One of the annoying things for me is that you can go to specific neighborhoods because of segregation. Like, and I mean social segregation, like when people choose to live near each other.
Right.
And easily film specific things and try and attribute it to one group or another. So I don't think it's fair to do that. I do think it's fair to point out, we got a ton of videos like that woman with the brick walking up to the car full of white people being
Yep.
like, what are you doing?
Why would you hand this out?
Because they're white supremacists, man. Mm-hmm. And so the joke is they're white supremacists with guilty consciences. Mm-hmm. Nah, they're just white supremacists, man.
Yep.
I think you might be right.
So I can say this. It is a fact that in the Pacific Northwest, Antifa does collude with white supremacist groups. This is a fact. So there hasn't been any strong reporting on it other than people I know who, like, I'm talking legit journalists,
Okay.
who do sourcing with various extremist groups, know for a fact they coordinate with each other for specific reasons. They both think each other is a useful idiot and both provide intel for them against the government. So Antifa is absolutely willing to be like, what have you guys heard? What can you tell us?
Yeah.
And the white supremacists are like, here's what we know. Here's what you can watch out for. Because the white supremacists don't like the government either. Not all of them.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are like insurrectionist, anti-establishment. And what do you expect? I think it would be great if there was stronger reporting on this, but no one wants to burn their sources because the moment someone says this person did it,
Yeah.
then they lose all their connections to Antifa. Like they have the one person feeding them all this info. So they're like, oh, I can't tell you.
What do you think about that picture that's going around of Antifa being infiltrated and taken over just to find out who's in it?
Oh, the OC Antifa one?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake?
I mean, it's probably real to an extent.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so I here's a better way to put it. I think it's real.
Okay.
But I don't think it's like a powerful, large Antifa organization. I think it was probably just an account that was tweeting these things and then maybe made some connections and got some private information.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not convinced that it's like you're going to see a database drop of all of these Antifa people from Orange County or whatever. But I actually do think that Antifa, for the most part, wants to overthrow the U.S. government. It's not about fascism.
They've said it, right? There's videos of them talking about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. They want their, communist utopia or whatever. Trump and a bunch of people are saying they're anarchists. Man, they're not anarchists. That annoys me. Anarchists, you've got right-wing anarchists who are, trying to sell land or something.
Yeah.
And then you've got left-wing anarchists who are trying to share the watermelons they grew on the land. And that's anarchy. There's no authority. It's people just chilling. Using violence on someone is asserting authority over them. So the right-wing anarchists and libertarian types have the non-aggression principle. You
Okay.
can't aggress against someone else. Where they draw that line, it gets difficult. The left doesn't really have that, but it's because it's almost impossible to be a left libertarian. It's almost impossible to find a group that agrees on everything and just cooperates.
Yeah.
It's not in human nature.
Well, that won't ever happen because there's billions and billions of us, and we all have different upbringings, different personalities, different everything.
On a small scale, it could.
Sure, on a small scale,
Like-
but we are not living in small scales anymore.
Right.
There's billions of us.
Well, that's also why I think laissez-faire capitalism doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Because then you end up with the corporation.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, you can not have anything because they own everything.
Yep.
So there's got to be some kind of limit or regulation. But all of these people seem to think they know what's best. But the craziest thing is, if I was actually to make a bet, like if someone said to me, Tim, what do you think is the most likely reason for all of this? I would say stupid college kids who are easily manipulated because they have no purpose are being manipulated by online influences from various countries.
Yep.
In order to be like
Part of something.
deranged. No. Like
And deranged.
they're driving into the derangement.
But that's part of it.
So they argue that Russia is trying to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's true, but the scale to which they argue it is probably not true. It's like some Russian influence is trying to incite and stoke the fire.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, man, Al Jazeera Plus, they were a well-funded San Francisco digital media outlet putting out nothing but police brutality videos, getting 2 billion views per year.
Wow.
And what do you think that does to the mind of young people as they're growing up? Their brains don't work anymore.
That's the truth. All cops are bad.
Yeah, all cops are bad and all cops are racist and all this other crazy nonsense.
Right.
So now they're outside, like watching the protesters outside of the White House was like, they're all chanting Black Lives Matter. You know why that's nightmarish?
Why?
They were all white. I'm like, man, it's the weirdest thing. All these white people coming out, being angry for someone they don't know, which, like, to an extent, I can respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a cult, man. They have this weird dogma. And then what's crazy is when you actually see black people be like, yo, stop. They're like, shut up. That's why I think they're white supremacists,
I think
dude.
you might be onto something.
Yeah, dude. I'm convinced, seeing all this stuff, that people are going to become extremely racist. They're going to go buy all the guns they can. And it is a white supremacist's dream come true. When do you know about what happened with Sarah Jong?
No.
She was an Asian woman who got hired by the New York Times.
Okay.
And she immediately got called out for years worth of anti-white tweets, like really brutal stuff. Like I don't remember. Do you remember any of the tweets she said?
She's talking about how she was hoping that something like how much she disliked old white men. That was her main focus. She wanted to get rid of all the old white men. And I was like, that's not a really good look for someone who's going onto an editorial board. But
she was saying like all white people this, white people that, and just it was really messed up stuff. I'm not going to pull her tweets up.
Yeah, okay. Especially men.
And the New York Times defended her. And you know what the response was from actual white supremacists? I wish we had 1,000 more of her.
Oh yeah.
So all of a sudden, these leftists, these Antifa media types start writing, white supremacists are furious over what she's saying. And I saw that and I'm like, no, they aren't.
No.
They love it.
They love it. Why are these people in the media lying to protect the white supremacists?
That is weird.
Because they are white supremacists. So the reason these white supremacists liked what Sarah Jong was saying was that it was essentially black propaganda for white people. And they were hoping when white people saw how much she hated them and was in an institution of power, it would make them hate the media, reject the media, and it would make them, quote, racially conscious. When you start seeing people in high levels of power say that because of your race, you're bad and you should die, that's what they want to happen.
Yeah.
Because then it makes white people react based on their race. One of the ways they've explained it in memes is they get attacked over and over again because white people are privileged. So then they form an identity group for white people and then get attacked for being racist. And they're like, it's what you told us we were. And like, it was the only way to defend ourselves. So what you started seeing from the rise of this, like, it's called leftist identitarianism. Groups like Black Lives Matter, for instance, was the inverse, the alt-right. And then you see people like at the New York Times getting away with it, just cheering it on. And then it leads to what we see in the White House. Thousands of white people chanting Black Lives Matter. And so, I'm talking to my friends about it. And I'm like, man, look, I get it. Racism, all that stuff, big problem. But the things you're saying make no sense. Like, if I was to talk to you about wealth inheritance and the destruction of property and how that translates, your response to me is that I'm focused on the rioters instead of a man losing his life. When I try to explain to you that, the reason why, I can't remember the rapper's name, Dream or whatever, was saying, don't destroy my town. He was saying it because he wants to give his kids an inheritance so that they have institutional power. But when these white people like Antifa show up to black neighborhoods and burn everything down, then all of the white liberals cheer for it. that means the next generation will never recover. That means you literally have white Antifa making sure the black people can't come up. And then the Democrats offer them policies that's destructive. Things that, make it so that they're either not going to work or that their homes are destroyed.
Or they're going to stay in that class forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can't move up. That's why, that's my loose conspiracy of Antifa is secretly white supremacists.
Yeah.
Or they're not. I mean, I think it's fair to call them that. What some people have called them is white supremacists with guilty consciences. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.